Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I know I've already done a Sonic.exe custom video, but the problem is while I was moving some stuff around for my room, he fell and his leg joint snapped and broke, and I was really upset about it. And this movie Sonic I have is also almost on its last legs, so that's why I didn't mind doing this, even though I know this is the harder one to come by, but I figured, oh well, I've got the 5-inch movie Sonic, so I didn't really care if I use this one for a custom or not, and I honestly was planning on making a new EXE using him anyway because he had elbow joints, and as you all know, the regular Jack's 4-inch line except for Chaos, I think Omega, Metal Sonic, Big, and the Werehog, as far as I'm aware, and someone can correct me in the comments, and the new upcoming Tangle figure as well, all have elbow joints. Those 6 do, but the rest of the line doesn't, so that's why. Oh, and Rouge apparently. I just remembered her, but okay, those 7. But aside from those, most of them don't have elbow joints, so that's why I want to use him, because I intend to pose him a little bit more than what I did do the others. So I wanted to do that, and then this video my partner also helped me touch him up because there were a few spots on him that were looking really rough, but you guys will see that later on. I had to keep going back in with more blue to coat him up because I didn't like. I like the detail on him, but I just didn't like the lightning bit on him. And plus, you all know how EXE is. Everybody's obsessed. You know, the hyper realistic image is just stupid, and I loved it. So that's why I wanted to give him like movie Sonic's body, so that way he would have had that detail, and I'm very happy with the end result, and I hope you guys are too, because I had a lot of fun making this custom. I tried taking his head off, and I realized that if I take it off one more time, that peg is probably going to break, so I ultimately decided we were just gonna have to paint with this head on, and it sucked. So here is where I kind of started working on the arms. I figured doing the ones with the gloves first would be easiest, since I actually had something that wasn't wet to grab onto. So the problem was with his skin tone, it was really light, and I didn't know how to fix it, because if I put black in there, it would have made it far too dark. I mean, obviously, I get it. It wasn't going to match, and then I went ahead and just tried to peg it back in. And I wanted to make sure the joint would still work fine, and then I just painted it completely on. And the thing with his arm joints is they were a bit of a pain in the butt to work with, but overall I believe it was worth it, and I honestly think instead of trying to peg it in while it was wet, I think it was just best I just left them in, because it kind of stinked trying to peg them back in when I got done with them, because they had to dry and I had nowhere to hang his arms up with to let them dry. So I just had to peg them in and go on about it, and I kept getting a bunch of paint on my hands, and just, it made my hand feel really weird, and I was not very pleased about it. And then here's where I started going in with the blue on his body, because I realized after I'd gotten the arms done, I was like, oh, I still haven't painted his body, which is... I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was planning on doing it after I got everything else done and let everything else dry, and then I was like, well, I should probably go ahead and paint it while I'm thinking about it, because if not, I'll forget to do it. So I went ahead and painted up his body. I was thinking of going through with like a black wash and doing that, but that might be a separate video. It more than likely will be. So be on the lookout for that, I guess, because shoot, I keep losing my train of thought today, guys. Oh, question of the week. How did you get into Sonic? Was it the games, the movies, the TV shows? Whatever it was, just let me know in the comments down below. And then you can see me going back in on the arms up here, because by the time they had dried, it was like a really, really light skin tone, and you could still see a lot of the blue peeking through. And I was not very happy with that, because it made the whole thing look kind of off, and I was trying to really make sure he got a decent coat of paint. I also decided to ultimately go in a little bit on his stomach, see if maybe anything would help lighten it at all. And then I tried to do the eyes because the red was dry enough, and then I went through and touched that up a little bit. I really liked his first set of eyes, but I would have had to have kept him at an angle, and I was not a big fan of that, so I ultimately just decided to go redo those, because, well, yes, I really like the idea of having his eyes angled. It was just not a lot of fun needing to keep him angled, so I just redid the one, because the other one was fine. And ultimately, they still ended up being at a slight angle, which, oh well. And then here, I tried pegging the legs in, because I was ready to just try and let him dry, and I didn't realize that the paint was still wet at this time. Because typically the paints I use dry very quickly. So at this time I was like, oh, they should be dry, and they were not. So, and then I had to bring his leg around, because I put it on there backwards, even though I thought I put it on there forwards, because the shoe was facing the other way, and I was trusting the shoes to guide me. And then here's where my lovely partner comes in and helps touch him up, because I asked them to, and they said they would, and I was really happy, because I really needed them to help touch up his arms, and I think there was something else they touched up. I might be wrong. I can't remember if they I think they also ended up touching up his shoes. I might be wrong. But I was really happy when they touched up his arms and everything, because they needed it really bad. Now, mind you, this is after he had set for a day and everything was fully dry. I didn't Mod Podge him. Actually, I still need to do that. That's gonna get done off camera though. I think next week will be something different, not Sonic related. Actually the next 4 weeks, because these are going to be 4 figures that are going to be a big set that I want to get done. So the next 4 weeks are going to be something really fun, because these are actually what originally got me into customizing. So I want to redo them, give them a redo, even though my partner helped me with them. But there's nothing against them, just I figured I should go through and give some touch-ups and everything. So you guys will see a nice touch-up process, and they'll finally get Mod Podge sealed and everything like that. So that'll be nice. And then, yeah. Oh, I forgot to bring them water, so that's what took so long. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize I touched up his eyes. See, this is my first time looking at the footage, because most of the editing was done by them this go around. So that's why, if it seems different at all, that's why, which I was totally fine with, because they've been offering to edit one of my videos, and I told them I eventually would let them, so they did edit this one, and I didn't mind it. Like I said, this is my first time actually looking at the footage for once, because after, let me rephrase that, this is my first time looking at the footage after recording, like post-edit and everything. I didn't really look at it while it was being edited or anything, so that's why I sounded so shocked over the eyes. And then they went through and touched up his blue, as you all just saw, and they went through and touched up his black on his eyes. I need to give him his white dots. Did they make one of his eyes smaller? No. But they also went through, like I did, on his chest, and did some paint there. And then I think they covered up his serial number on his shoe. And I didn't even realize I went through and touched up the gloves they did originally. That's why those were already painted and everything. So yeah, they did make his eyes smaller. Okay. I know I wasn't going insane. Either way, he still looks really good. Yeah, and then here's where they went through and covered up the serial number on the back of his foot. Thank you for watching.